Hello, I hope I am audible to all of you. Give me 1 minute, I will start. Okay, guys, I hope I am audible and the screen is also visible to all of you. Could you please confirm whether I am audible or not so that we can start the session? Thank you for confirmation. Uh, we'll start the session now. So, as you know that last session we have learned how to write a select statement. Then we have learned how to like where clause and the syntax of the select statement. So today we learn how to use the operators in SQL Server. So there are different operators available in SQL, and we have checked that. Okay, so mm, give me 1 minute. Okay, so there are multiple operators like equals to, less than equals to, greater than, less than equals to, then again not equals to. So we have learned that part, and like I will demonstrate how to use these different operators in SQL. So you can see what can we do. We will connect to our database. I will open AdventureWorks database and then I will open this query. Now, for example, I want data or I want the employee IDs whose employee ID is greater than 10. I want that records. Okay. So what is the syntax to write the statement is you can write that statement in such a way that like select I'm reading the data, so this is the statement select, and then I'm reading from employee table, so from Then after form you have to specify the table name. So in our case I will specify the table name. This is the employee table name from the human resource schema. Let me pull, and now I will check what are the different columns available there in the employee table. So those business entity ID, okay, the employee whose business entity ID is greater than one, I want that data, and I want all the columns. So what I will do, I will write select star. So star operator give me all the rows, and then to filter the data, I will write a where condition, where then column name business entity ID. So business entity ID I said like greater than 10. Okay, so that if I execute this statement, I will get only those rows whose or those records whose business entity ID is greater than 10. So I will execute this one. You can see I'm getting the records now. See if you can check like business entity ID greater than 10. Though I have I have business entity ID 1 to 10. Okay, the business entity ID started from 1 to whatever like that last number 290, but if I specify business entity ID is greater than 10, then in that case I will get all these records whose business entity ID is greater than 10. What if I want the records whose business entity ID is less than 10? Then in that case I will get all these records whose business entity ID is less than 10. I will execute this one. Now what if I want the record whose business entity ID is equals to 100? How will I write? It is very simple. Like I have to just instead of the less than, I have to specify equals to and then 100. So here I will execute this query and I will get only single record. So there is only one record whose business entity ID is 100. The same way, if I write a statement, if I don't want uh, the record whose business entity ID is not equals to 100, the syntax is just you have to put exclamation mark prior to equals to sign. Now execute this query and see you will get all these records, but you will not get 100. See here after 99 there is directly 101 record. Okay, so I am excluding this record. To exclude, this is the syntax. Now what if I want the records whose business entity ID or whose national number, um, okay, I want the records whose job title is data engineer. So the syntax is here in this case I am looking in the job title field, so I am looking for the data engineer. All I want all data engineers record. Okay, so how can I write job title then equals to, this is the character, so I have to specify this characters in single inverted comma and I will execute. So here you will get all the records where the job title is equals to data engineer. Now my second condition is that mm I want the record whose job title is data engineer, and what I want the business entity ID equals to sorry 5. So in that case what it will do, like business entity ID equals to 5. I will execute this query. Okay, so now I have used one more operator called a logical operator called and so there are three logical operators. One is and, another is or, and there is one more not. Okay, so here what I am doing, I am using and logical operator, meaning that it should like whatever conditions are there, if it satisfies these conditions, meaning that like all conditions should be true in case of the and. So here earlier what I was get like when I executed this query job title equals to data engineer, then I received three rows. But post that what I did, I am executing and I am like restricting conditions. Okay, I am applying one more filter where business entity ID equals to 5. What it will do, it will check where the job title equals to data engineer ID. Yes, so I will get three records, and then it is again checking one more condition, that is business entity ID is equal to 5. For these two records the business entity ID is not 5. So this will exclude these two records. So in case of the AND, it will try, like it will check the conditions, and all conditions should be true. Okay, now what I will do, I want the business, let me, now what I want, I will, I want a record whose business, whose job title is data engineer, or uh, business entity equals to 5. I mean, if it satisfies either of one conditions, like I want the job title is equals to data engineer, and business or business entity ID equals to 5. If one of the condition is satisfied, then it will give the all rows. Okay, so instead of the and, I will write or here. SQL, MS SQL is case insensitive, so you can write either in the small case or capital case. It will, it doesn't matter at all. See, it will give me three rows. Uh, it will give me three rows. What is the job title? Oh, where is that field? Yeah, see here, in case of the or, here this condition is true, or either this condition is true. Here if you check, this job title data engineer is satisfying, like there are three rows. Okay, so one of the condition is true, hence I am getting all the rows. So in case of the or, if one condition is satisfying or one condition is true, I will get the result. But in case of the and, both conditions should be satisfied. Now, what I want, I don't want uh, the job title. Okay, job title should not be equals to data engineer. So I want all the records whose job title should not equals to data engineer. So how can I write? This is the case. Okay, so here if you check, there is no job title whose name is whose job title is equals to data engineer. Okay, so this is the way, or you can write not job title equals to data engineer. So again, this will give me the same. You can either specify not keyword here, or you can specify the symbol not. So in where clause, like where you can combine these, you can specify where, like you can combine the logical operators in where clause. Either you can specify and or not. Okay, so and, in case of the and, the operator combines two conditions and returns true only if both conditions are true. In case of or, if any of the condition is true, then I will get an result. In case of the not, like it is reverse of the conditions. Okay, so in simplified manner, how I will explain, I will open Excel and I will show you the logical table, how like it works exactly. Input 1, then input 2, then and, then or, and not. So if there is an input 1, again input 2 is 1, and if I specifying, mm, then in that case, if the first condition is true and second condition is true, in case of the or, I will get and result, that is 1. In case of the or, if either of the condition, like input 1 or input 2 is true, then either of it is true, then I will get 1. And here in case like it will operate only on single input. So like here input is 1, so it will return 0, exactly opposite. Suppose my first input is true, second input is false. In that case, here both conditions are not true, hence I am getting 0 records. So for example, in case of the or, either of, like my first input is satisfying my conditions, and it is true, so I will get an 1. Here again, like for this I'm treating for not I'm treating only input 1 field. Okay, so here 1, then it is exactly opposite. So then 0, 1, again both conditions are false. Here one condition is true in case of the OR, so my result will be true. Here again, so here in case 1, because here is 0 and here is 1. Then 0, 0, both conditions are false. In case of the and both conditions false, then you will not get an error. So, sorry, you will not get any records. In case of the or, yeah, both conditions are false, no result will be written. But in case of the not, yes, it will give a result. So keep in mind this will work. If there are multiple, like there is one more input, then in that case what you have to do, it will like in case of the and it will check three rows, three inputs. Okay, if there are multiple inputs, then it will check all the inputs. Now what I will do, I will show you one more condition. What I will do, like we will check, we will define multiple conditions here. Let me take a person query, person table, select star form person table. So I'm getting too many errors, no problem. Now my query is I want a record whose person type is EM and name in title it should be MS. Okay, so how can I write? Where person type, this is a character, so I have to write in single quote, and my other condition is title should be equals to MS dot. Okay, so it is case sensitive, so it is not required to either small or capital. Now see, you are getting only such records where the person type is EM and title is MS. But now my next condition is that what I want such records where person type should be equals to EM and title is either of MS or I don't or like title is equal to MR. Okay. Now what it will check? It will check where person equals to EM and title equals to either MS or MR. See, if you check, the thing is that what I want mm person. Okay, person type equals to M, but what kind of data I am getting? Okay, I am getting person type equals to VC. I am not expected this here. I want this person type equals to EM, but here like I am getting data person type equals to VS. Okay, in that case, like parenthesis plays very important role. So just make sure you have applied proper parenthesis. Now see what it will check. It will check the title is equal to MS or title equals to MR. If any of the condition is true, then it will return that row plus in that like it will give one output and it will check the other condition with and. Okay, for example, mm, this one. Okay, so here in this case, what is in case of this record, the title is mr dot. Okay, so this condition is true. Either of it is true means this block will give me one value. What it will give me? One. Okay, then But what this VC will give me, I will explain here. Okay, let so what it will check, the person type equals to em. I am checking this condition. Okay, so what is the person type here? Its person type is VC equals to em. No, right? So this will give me as result as 1, sorry, 0, because this is not satisfying condition. Okay, and there is this keyword. Okay, then and now in bracket, what is the title? Title is MS. Okay, in this case, sorry, Mr., right? So for this case, it will give me 0 because here MR is present. Or then what it will do? Or MR dot. Okay, so title is equal to MR. Yes, so it will give me 1. But in case of or, if you check like 0 or 1, then what is the result? 0 or. In that case, I will just highlight what is the output of the or 1. Okay, then it will at the second step, how SQL works I am showing you. Okay, this 0 will become as it is, then and is as it is. In the bracket, what is the output of the this whole condition is 1. So 1 inside the bracket 1. Now 0 and 1, what is the output of 0 and 1? 0 and 1. In case of the AND, the output is, yeah, here. In case of the AND, the output is 0. So will I get, like, what is the final output? The final output is 0. So in that case, can I get this row? No, I will not get this row. So this condition will be false and I will not get this row. Now I will come here and I will explain the other row. Now in case of this, okay, we will check how it works. In case of the, I will copy this row itself. Okay, where it is? Okay, we'll put here. And again, what I will do, I will put R condition also. Okay, now I'm not interested into this field. I'm not interested into this field. I have only two conditions with me now. Okay, so my condition is person type equals to em. So is person type equals to em? Yes. So in that case, what will happen? This, the first clause will give me output as 1. Sorry, 1. Yes, it is true, right? And then in bracket, what is the title is like MR. So here is MS. So what will I will get output? 0. Or then title is MR. So what is the, I mean, what I will get in case of the or? This condition is true, so it will give me 1. Now see 1, then and as it is, then 0 or 1. Uh, what is the output? 0 and 1. I will get a 1. So here 1. Now in case of the AND, 1 and 1. So both inputs are 1, then in that case I will get 1. So meaning that 1. So now see, I said I will get this output, but I will not get this output, right? The person type, and though there is a condition that title is matching, but I am applying and there. Okay, so what I will do, I will comment out this part so that it will not throw an error, and I will execute. Now see, I will get only such records where person type is equals to em and title is either MS or MR. Okay, so I will explain one more scenario with this only. Now my next condition is that I want either person type equals to er or uh, here my next condition is this one and then this one. See, now what I want the cases where person type is equals to em or title is ms, either of it, and then title is equals to mr. Now what I will get? I will get only mr cases. I will not get ms cases. I will execute this query. Let's see, and I will explain you. See, I said I will get only mr cases, though there are few records where the title is em, sorry, the title is ms and person type is equal to em. But the next time, like this condition is true in this case, right? But after that, what it will check? And okay, so in case of the and, both conditions should be true. So this record will be excluded. In case of the or, there is no need to specify the bracket, okay? But whenever there is an involvement of the or, then you have to specify the bracket. So let me check another example. There is sales customer table is there. I just pressed Control N so that it will open new window. So what is here? No. Mm, Let me clear the filter. Person address. Okay. Address line. Okay. Now what I want the city is Dallas and or state provision ID equals to 9. Either of it I want. So can you please write down the query? Hello. Okay. So can you please write the where clause? What could be the where clause? My question is I want the city equals to Dallas and then the state provision ID equals to 9. So either of one condition should be true. So how can we write the query? Where city equals to or state provision equals to 9. Now I will get all such records where city is equals to Dallas or state provision ID equals to 9. You want to check, you can check here. Just I'm making alignment. And I will execute. See, the city is Dallas, but state provision ID is 73. Here, this first condition is satisfying. So, one of the condition is satisfying. So, hence, I am getting this record. Now, in case of this second record, the address ID 26, I am getting San Francisco as a city. Then, State provision ID as 9. Okay, so one of the condition is true. Now what I want all the records where city is in Dallas, and either city should be either San Francisco or Dallas. Then how can I write? Or city, you can write city equals to the next condition, San Francisco, and just execute. Ah, here you have to specify. Okay, see, you will get 4,571 records. Mm, Now, but I want postal code to be 73. Okay, I want this postal code. Then in that case, you have to add postal code STL and just execute it. Okay, I got an error. What kind of error it is? See, the error is conversion failed when converting the envarchar value kb blah blah to type integer. So even though this postal code is an integer, but the data type of this field is a varchar. That's why I'm getting this error. So how can we resolve this error? We can resolve this error just like I will show you. The data type of this field is a envarchar. So my table is address. Okay. So where is address here? If I expand this, you can see the postal code is in envarchar. Though all values of the postcode in this field are integer, I cannot pass as an integer. So how can I pass? How can I convert this integer into a string? Yes, I can use like by just using sorry, inverted commas, and I can pass the values. Now I will get this query will execute it. So now see, I'm getting only 51 rows and all cities are San Francisco. Like either of this one condition is true, and then the other conditions is where postal codes. Like it will check if one of the condition is true, then it will check the other condition, and this pin code is belongs to the San Francisco, so I will get this record only. Now, mm, okay. Now what? There is one more class. Like suppose I want records like five cities are there. Okay, so this Bothell is there, then Dallas is there, again San Francisco is there, then this Nevada is there, Phoenix is there. So if I want these cities, now I want only these cities. Okay, where city equals to, and then again I want this record. Okay, see now what I will do, instead of putting this into a quoted, what I will do, I will try to execute this query. Now I will get an error. Incorrect syntax near this Phoenix city. Why I am getting? Because this is an string value. So if you got such error during like working, then the reason could be uh, you have not like kept that values into single inverted comma. Now I will execute this. Oh, still I'm getting error, or city equals to. Oh, okay. So why I'm getting error? Because there is an open bracket, but I haven't closed it. Okay, so I have to close it. Now this error will remove. See, I'm getting all the cities. I'm not getting other cities. I'm getting either Dallas or this San Francisco or Nevada. If you check, I will put a distinct keyword and then city. I'm getting only these cities only. See, now what? Like I have 100 cities and how can I pass these cities? Okay, every time I have to put an or clause. So how can I avoid that? And every time I have to like mention a city, city, city. So there is an alternative keyword called in. So where you have to specify just in, then there is no need to specify this or city name every time. Just separate these cities with comma. So how this in will work? If any condition, if any value or any condition inside the bracket is true, then it will give that record. I will execute now this one. See, I'm getting all records where the cities are into this. Now what I want only records whose state provision ID is in between, like 73 and 9. So how can I pass? Just remove this one. I will write the query one more time. Now here what I will do, instead of the city, I will state provision ID in 73 comma 9. So I will get all such a records where this state provision ID is either 73 or 9. So how in works, like if any condition is true, then it will give me an results. Now if I want such a records where state provision ID should not be 73 or 9, then just put state provision ID not in. Okay, so that you will get all the records except where state provision ID is not 73 and 9. Now just check not in. Oh, sorry, 73. I kept here 73. So 73 and 9. So you will get all the records where state provision IDs are not equal to 73 or 9. Okay, now mm, there is one more table called state province. Let me filter it. Okay, I will execute this query. Okay, where name is Albetra. What is this? Okay, country region code. Okay, what I want now, I want country region code. We just learned in clause and or clause. Then we have learned not clause. Now let me show you one more magic. Okay, just go to employee table. Select star from human resources where employees, where is the name of the employees? Oh, there is no employees. I think there is names in the person.person table. Missing dot. Yeah. here is name. So where first name equals to this scan. Okay, you can write this query this way, or like how many rows you got? 6 rows, right? You can write the same queries in this way. Ken equals to person. So I will execute both the queries. Okay, you can see you are getting same records. Okay, so internally what SQL does, it will check, like it will keep this scan. Okay, this scan here in place of here. Okay, like this, and then the which the value we have passed, it will just try to equate with it. Okay, if the values are getting equated, then you will get an result. Or even you can pass like now my condition is that this scan should be first name. Okay, then if uh, the first name either, like you can pass this way also, like sorry, first name in Ken. Okay, sorry. So what it will does, it will show you all results where first name is in Ken. Now if I don't want the first name not like Ken, then I can use not keyword. Okay. Now there is one more operator called a between. Okay, we will learn now between. So here select star from same table name where this business entity ID between uh, between 2 and 8. So what between does? There is no need to specify the brackets. Okay. So what between does? It will search for a range. So it will start from 2 and it will end with 8. So both these values are inclusive, meaning that it will check the business entity ID is greater than equals to 2 and less than equals to 8. So it will give you all the business entity ID records where the values are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 till 8, and both these values are inclusive. So we will execute this one. Okay. So between is used to get the values between two ranges. This is the lower range and this is the upper range. So it will give the result of these two ranges. And if you just specify not between, then it will exclude the records which are not in between 2 and 8. So it will exclude these records. How many records? 7 records. Okay. Just execute it. I will just execute. See, I will execute both the queries. Okay. And not. If you check, let me execute the both the queries. So the first output is between. So it will first query give me output of 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, and the next query, see, it started. Okay, it is just excluding, not means exclude the range 2 and 8. It has excluded all the records which are in between 2 and 8. So you can achieve the same thing the like between things by using greater than and less than equals to, where business entity ID, sorry, greater than equals to and business entity ID less than equals to. So the output of this query, both the query you will get the same output. See, same output. Now, when to use this query? Most of the time, like while dealing with the date part, okay, you will not get like when you use a between keyword, then you will not get all the records, okay. So for example, let me check, is there any record modified date? Mm, let me check, select star from this joining date is, I want date and time field, orders could be possible. Mm, currency. No, everywhere like that part is not, the time part is not there. Orders. No, everywhere like time part is not there. So how things happen? Like I will explain you. If you want to data for a particular year, then if you like, if I want data for 2011 all data, okay, and if you write a query like this, where modified date between 1st January 2011 01 till last day of 2011. So, and if you execute this query, how many rows you will get? Are you getting 5716? But this query will give you the result when the modified date is of 31st December 2011. If any record is updated post 12 am, meaning that if any record is updated post in midnight, okay, then you will not get the all records. What I will do, I will quickly update one record and I will show you. Though it has a date, update. See, now you know that there is one more record uh, in the table whose date is also 31st December 2011. Okay, now let's see, I will execute this query. Ideally, it should give me all the records. If you see the sales order ID, I have updated the sales order ID. Okay, the ID sales order ID equals to 1 is also have a, the modified date is of 31st December. Let me execute this one fast quickly. Bell says all right equals to. See, the date of this record is also again. Oh, there is no record. Yes, sales order detail ID. I missed this part. See, if you check the record, then you will get there is one more record, right? Whose date is also 31st, but I'm not getting this record. If you check in the earlier query, in the between clause query, you are not getting that record. Why it is not getting? The between is just inclusive of that value, this 31st. Okay, it will only include the values those are of like midnight of 31st. Mhm. 31st. Okay, there is one more record. I mean, for this record also, the date is last day of the year. Okay, so in that case, you have to write a query like this. Like instead of the between, you can write a query greater than equals to, and then to get all the records of a particular, you can write query like less than, then pass 2012 and then 01. Next years, it should be less than next year's date. In that case, you will get all the records. See, the first record itself is now it's coming. Earlier, there were records like 5715, and now you are getting how many records? See, now there are 5716 records, and while executing the between, you are getting only 20, 11, 12, 31st. So for this query, you are getting 5715 records. That is the second query. And the for first query, you are getting 5716 records. So, like while dealing with the date, always try to use a greater than and less than data to get a, if you want to get a data for a particular year or in between, like for a particular month in that case. Okay, so today we will stop here, and tomorrow we will cover other part, that is we have covered between. So basically between operator is used to where clause to select a value within the range. Okay, so you can pass the between lower value and the upper value. Okay, if you are like pass null values to between operator, then you will it will return null. Okay, then like with not operator I have just shown, like if you pass not with the between, then it will exclude that particular range. And then I have like shown you in operator, it is similar to our operator, but here you can like if any condition is true, then it will give an results to you. So you can pass like if you want to exclude a particular set, then you can pass not in. Then okay, we'll stop here. Thank you for joining, and I request to all of you try to subscribe. I can see more number of users are live, but still you are not subscribing, I request to you please subscribe the channel. Thank you very much for joining.